Talking Trotters is back for another week, and I've got to try and get rid of one other thing. There will be there. And proudly brought to you by Haras to Trotters, who are great supporters, great sponsors of Campbell's Comments. And I hope everyone's had a good Christian and New Year. We're not going to go back over everything for the whole summer carnival, if you like, because it's a bit too much going on there. But as I said, it's brought to you by Haras to Trotters. And one of the good little stories yesterday actually was Don't Care. I'm going to actually play the last 400 metres of Don't Care winning the Cobram Cup for Shannon O'Sullivan. And then we'll be joined straight after that by Kate Hargreaves.
But Powder Keg, who slides a little closer and they ramp it up. She's a Pleasure, waits for the Ben Stud sprint lane, travels well. They've raced clear. Under pressure, Zarum. Around the outside goes Robbie Royale and past Blue Coman. 28.7 the quarter. Leader was Don't Care. Powder Keg's asked for the supreme effort. Waiting a run was She's a Pleasure. Robbie Royale's tacked on to the rest of them. They turn. The leader was Don't Care. To the sprint lane run goes She's a Pleasure. Powder Keg can't fight anymore. Don't Care in front. Coming at it was She's a Pleasure. Don't Care's all out. She's a Pleasure's coming home strongly on the inside. Don't Care won at a short half head and beat She's a Pleasure, and Robbie Royale was 8 metres away in third.
Right now. Righto, we are back, and online I have got Kate Hargreaves. Firstly, Kate, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Paulie. It was a massive thrill.
It would have been. He's been a ripper little horse to you over the journey. What's his stable name?
We call him Ed, but he's also known as Big Red. He's got a few nicknames.
And I am sure he is a very, very popular horse in the stable.
Absolutely. To know Ed is to love Ed, and he's just everything that you could love about a horse. He's got a great nature about him. He's very laid back, but he's also a bit sensitive. He's got a few quirks to him, and he's quite a character. And then obviously what he does on the racetrack, you can't help but respect him. Such a gutsy win yesterday. So everyone that knows Ed loves Ed.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. It was a gutsy win. It was a strong win. Firstly, the reasons for you having Shannon O'Sullivan on, because I think it's quite a good one. I asked you earlier on, I wasn't sure. There was some debate as to whether Alan Tormey, who is his regular driver, chose to drive Zarem, but there was a little bit of a backstory to it.
Yeah, Shannon, she has a lot to do with my stable, and she is a good friend of mine. She'd been helping out the past couple of weeks, and I think as a driver she's really improved the last probably 6 to 12 months, and I sort of want to give her opportunities to drive some better horses, because she's not going to get better unless she gets better opportunities. So I sort of promised her an opportunity to drive him, and the Vic Bred was over and we had this race. It wasn't quite as big a race, so I took the opportunity and just gave her this drive on him, and she absolutely made the most of it.
Oh, she did. She did indeed, and. Was there much talk with her about that, about the fact of, you can't give her every good drive on this horse and that, but please just go out there and make the most? Is that what you basically said to her?
Yeah, I said I can't promise anything in the future, but I wanted to give her a chance, and she was absolutely fine about that. She was just so appreciative and so grateful to get to drive him. She really loves the horse too, and she was really emotional before the race. Obviously after the race she was when winning, but just before it, before she jumped on him, she was quite emotional, and she said, this means a real lot to me, and this is sort of what I've always dreamed about, and it's what every driver wants. So I think, the occasion, it really meant a lot to her, and it made me really happy to see that I could make someone so happy and to be able to give this to her, because I think she really earned it. And I said that to her after the race. I said, because she was thanking me for the drive, and I said, she's earned it. Like she's done her time on my average ones, or the ones that are a bit harder to drive, and she's done a fantastic job. So she certainly earned this opportunity, and it was so great to see her win.
She probably drives some that no one want to fight her over. I'm sure there'd be plenty of people saying, "Oh, I would have drove Don't Care for you." So it's they call it swings and roundabouts. It's good to repay her in that sense.
Absolutely, and you're spot on there. Some of the horses I've put her on there, they're not over-endowed with ability, and they're also quite difficult to drive, and they give her a bit of a hard time. But she gets on them, and she's always got a positive attitude, and she's always grateful for opportunities. And you know, she'll always help me load up after the races, because quite often I'm on my own, and she helps me gear them up, and she's just keen as anything. And so, you know, those things go a long way with a lot of trainers, but especially me. You know, just those little things. She's always there to help, and she's always grateful for any opportunity. And I just love how positive she is every time she jumps on one of my horses. And you know, if it's got terrible form, but I tell her it's going good, it should go close, she'll drive it positive. And I really like that about her.
No, well, so you should. It was a Central Murray Credit Union Cobram Cup. It was a Group 3 event too, which is well done to you. I think that's about your 4th Group 3. I'll bring those stats up in a little bit. Good times though, like she said, you got to drive him tough, and she certainly did that. Everyone was all out the last 100 metres.
Absolutely, it was. I just can't believe what a massive run it was. He missed away a little bit, and as soon as he tacked on, Shannon took off and made her move and worked to get to the front, and then she sort of ran from there. So for the whole trip, he didn't really come up for air. So I think it just proved that, you know, he is quite tough. I mean, he is fast as well, but against sort of the lesser class horses, he needs to be driven like that. And yeah, I was a bit astounded that he still fought on at the end and got up and won.
It's a funny race when you look at the form. Most of those trotters, apart from the second horse, which is a bit odd, it's going to sort of nearly fly in my face, they're all tough. Robbie Royale, Powder Keg, Blue Coman and Zarem love it tough. That's their style of racing. I suppose Zarem can be a little bit of an opportunist too. She's a Pleasure's more noted as a sit-and sprinter, and she was the one doing the best work at the finish, if you like. It's an interesting race when you look at it that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. A lot of those horses are, you know, country cups are sort of their go, because the country cups are for those types of horses, I think, especially the ones over the longer distance. She's a Pleasure was the one horse I probably didn't want on our back, because it's been going terrific. It was great through the Vic Bred, and it made up a lot of ground on him when he raced against that Bendigo a few starts back. So to hold it off after She's a Pleasure sort of had the soft run on our back, I think just showed, you know, what a trier he is, and he's got a massive heart.
He has indeed. He's by used to me. I didn't actually plan it that way. I rang you, and then I realised afterwards I look after my sponsors, but it was mainly because of the emotion we saw yesterday from Shannon, and I'm sure it meant a lot to you. But he's by used to me out of My Dreamweaver. He didn't cost an arm and a leg to purchase, and he's just been a great buy. But used to me himself, he just does a terrific job with, you know, the Trotters full stop, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now we're starting to see that he's leaving a few nicer ones, and they're bobbing up a bit more, which is great to see.
No, definitely. What's he won now? Don't care. He's done a great job. $170,000 in stakes from 12 wins. So well done for that, Katie.
Yeah, it's. I didn't realise he'd actually won that much money, but yeah, I think he's going to go on and be one of the top line trotters. He probably needs this season to season him up a bit and get used to that harder racing. I've looked after him all through his 4-year-old season, so he hasn't really raced the real top ones yet. So it's a bit hard to make a call on how he'll handle that, but I definitely think he's a horse of the future. He
will indeed. I've got a few comments, which I will get to, but Nellie Melba says there, Shannon is a real pocket rocket. She's a pocket rocket. We nicknamed McCheddar Pocket because you could fit him in your back pocket. Well, you could fit Shannon in there as well, and you still would have room left over. I reckon the pair of them. So there's no hassles there. There is not a lot to us. So that part is true. Just your stats, Katie. I looked them up, and as I said, this is about talking trotters and the likes. But you've had 291 wins, so you're coming close to your 300th win, which I'm sure you're looking forward to that. $2 million in prize money. You've won a Group 1, but you know, last season, 30 winners out on your own. You must be wrapped with how things are progressing.
Absolutely. I was really nervous going out on my own last season, and didn't really know how I would go. But I think my stats are runners that have landed in the top 3. I think it's something like 40% last season. So I just aim for them to be consistent and earning money for their owners. So yeah, I was actually really proud looking back on last season, because I was pretty scared, to be honest, and I didn't want to fail. But yeah, and I've started off this season good. I've already got 2 winners, so hopefully it can continue and I can get a hold of some nicer horses and just keep improving.
Yep, and two of your top horses that you've trained in your name, Don't Care and Well Defined, both trotters. And then there's a mighty little Beau Garçon who gets lost a little bit and forgotten. I hit the wrong button then, Katie. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it back up. But I looked at your biography and, your top, this is where you fit in beautifully on this show. Your top feature wins are all with the trotters. Don't Care, Well Defined, Beau Garçon. And I was wrong, there's 5 Group 3s and 1 Group 1. So it's impressive. What is it you love about the trotter?
I'm not really sure. I've just always had a lot of luck with them, more so than preferring them. But there's nothing better than sitting behind a real top line trotter. Don't Care just gives me a feel no other horse ever has, and they're just incredible to sit behind. And I've had a lot of luck. And little Beau Garçon, he's nearly back. He battled a lot of issues last time, and it was a big learning curve for me with him. But I think I've got him right, and I'm excited to see what he actually can do, because I think he's probably as good as Well Defined. We just haven't seen it yet. So I'd like to win a few more Trotters Cups.
With Beau Garçon?
With Beau. Yeah, well, with all of them. I would love Well Defined to win another one, obviously, but he's a bit on a tough mark, whereas Beau Garçon's a bit more lowly rated. So he's sort of my Country Cup's hope this season.
Well Defined, is he back in your stable?
He's just back spelling at the moment. I've sort of got to make a decision with him. It's getting a bit hard for him, and the trotting ranks are exceptionally strong at the moment. So I'm not sure whether maybe an interstate trip might be on the cards for him, or whether he goes back to John Tormey or I train him myself. I've got a bit of thinking to do, but for now he's really enjoying his time out in the paddock. He's got a little group of girlfriends, so he's quite happy where he is.
Brad Steele's on from Queensland. They got an Inter Dominion up there next year. You might spark a bit of attention for some of those Queenslanders up there, Katie. You wouldn't mind going up. You wouldn't mind going up there and watching him race either, I'd imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And Queensland would probably be the place he'd head if he did go interstate. But yeah, it'll be a hard decision, because I don't really want to send him too far away, but I've got to do what's best by the horse. So yeah, sunny Queensland might be his new home.
Brad, there's a 40-second delay on Facebook, and so then by the time he typed this, Kate, he actually didn't hear what I said there. He's already got on the front foot. I really appreciate all the input he does give me, but congratulations, Kate. Love your passion and your energy come north. So he'd actually got on the front foot probably prior to that, and he's written that one himself. So don't, he doesn't miss too many chances, that's for sure.
Not at all. That's great.
The only thing I will say, he said there before I got a bit of sun. I'll tell you what, we've got some humidity too, so it is very, very hot up there. What about coming through? I know you purchased, did you purchase only the one trotter last year at Nutrien, who'll be a 2-year-old this year?
Yeah, just a little Father Patrick gelding. He's coming along good. He's got a few behaviour issues. He's a fiery little fella, but Rita Burnett's done a terrific job with him. I had to send him back to her because he was being pretty naughty. But she sorted him out for me, and she's just done a wonderful job. And he's sort of on the straight and narrow now, and I really quite like him. He's very, very natural, and dare I say it, he actually does remind me a lot of Don't Care with how natural he is in his action and his speed. So, who knows?
I promise he's not as flashy. And I have seen him, but he can't be as flashy as Don't Care.
He's got a bit more white on him than Don't Care, but he's not chestnut, so he's not as pretty.
No, definitely not. All right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Well done winning the Cobram Cup. Thanks for joining me. And as always, I appreciate the passion you show and the way you conduct yourself as well is first rate, both on and off the track. I think you do a great job, Katie. So thank you very much for joining me. Congratulations. And all. Where is he racing next? Don't Care. Where's he going to go around next?
The plan is Ballarat in a fortnight if all goes well.
Rightio. All right. Well, good luck there. I might be there. I won't be at Shepparton this week, but I might make my way across to Ballarat the week after. But good luck, Katie, and thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, Paulie. It's always a pleasure having a chat to you.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
That was Kate Hargreaves there. And, as I said, we've got plenty of people tuned in there. Stuart Tanner is the Hello Paul. I've cut that one off just a little bit there at the top, but he's going there. Good morning, Katie Perry-Evans from Dragonheart Racing, or Wales as it is, and she says good morning. So a bit of breakfast TV. I was actually thinking about potentially doing one of these shows as a breakfast one, and I actually already do by the looks, for the Welsh. So, but anyway, nice early Monday morning for those guys. Plenty happened this week in trotting, and every week, as I say, with the Trotters, a few of the states have backed off a little bit. Queensland and even New South Wales have backed off, but it is full steam ahead here in Victoria with the Country Cups starting up and hotting up, and we do have the Murray Mile, which I will recap on in a minute. But I do have to say a big thank you to my sponsors. So obviously Haras to Trotters. You can get in touch with Haras to Trotters at harastotrotters.com.au to get your all your staying needs. They are still standing. Obviously, we're in January, but now with the season going a lot longer, their roster is still going. Classic Connection, Used to Me, and Honest Street are all still available here in Australia, with Classic Connection and Honest Street are both available through the Cobbity Farms 2-year-old Classic for the Trotters. Actually, all of those horses are as well. Used to Me is as well. But yeah, don't forget the Cobbity Farm Trotting Classic to be run in 2026. They don't have that on the date there, and it confuses me because I actually just read that same slide that everyone else is looking at it, and go from there. So people are being cheeky to me. They're giving me a hard time about my tan by the looks. I'm not actually sure how that comes up. It comes up a little bit differently, but yeah, it is warm over here now, Katie. Katie was over for the New Zealand Cup and a few of those other races. She is a strong trotting lover, and we might have to get Katie on once they get back racing in Wales to bring a bit more different content to the show. But obviously you can see there my Kiwi friend in Cameron Bray. He's being a bit cheeky. They were complaining, true story, Brad Steele like this, they're complaining that it's hot in the South Island. It is a balmy 22 degrees and they are complaining that it's hot, but I do believe it's possibly a little bit uncomfortable, but that is all good and well. Going to go through quite a few of the results for the week just gone by. I'm not going to go back all that far. I'm going to go back as far as the start of the new year because it's, well, if I go back to right where I started, there's too much there to cover off on, and it's done it again. No, it has caught up, thank you. I was going to say this little program that I have is annoying me, but please fire a question in. The questions will come up there as you ask them, so please get in there and fire the questions in at any stage as we're talking Trotters. We will get onto the Murray Mile in a minute, and what a great race it was with the Aldebaran Park Murray Mile. Do have me Duncan's hat on there, and we will show the race in full for anyone that hasn't seen it. We will go from there. What a great drive by Puppet. After a few made mistakes and his wife's horse sleep up, we will get to those, Jeffrey. And thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, there's a couple of real highlight runs in the race, and both Sleepy and the other mare of Yabby Farms, whose name has just escaped me at the minute. She's by, all sorts. It'll come to me. When I see it in front of me, it'll come to me for sure. But yeah, there was a couple of real cracking runs by some of the mares that will be looking to go to Queensland next year for the Inter-Dominion, plus a couple of the other races coming on. Rightio. Chuka, first race for the season, and Donna Castle, she started it off with a bang. She actually had a double, nearly had a treble for the night. And Berries and Cherries, who will feature a little bit later on, broke through for a win. I'm not sure how many wins she's had now. 7 wins that horse has had from 40 starts, and nearly $40,000 in stakes. Of course, out of Meredith Castle, a Village Jasper mare who done a terrific job with this one. Going through it. Hate It When You're Right, and I Am a Ziabi running in the top 3. They then also had a feature race on here, which was the Ron Emerson printing trot, and that was won by Aristotle for Laura Crosland, beating Mystic Chip. Glenn Sharp, he had a couple of placings, and Wildom Zave. I actually heard, I do know how to say that name, and that's how you say it, Wildom Zave. One of the guys on Sky Channel the other day, it was very enjoyable. Listen to him get his tongue twisted around it and having all sorts of trouble trying to get the that name out. he couldn't get it out. Bought the next day, there was 2 trots on it. Bought one was a $10,000 race. The first one, doing a great job. A lady I will catch up with for an interview, Janet Exhale, doing a terrific job with her trotters right across and show me the Moolah. Caused a false start, but still managed to do everything right, beating Christmas Babe and Get Smart Max. It was a new track record, I think, from memory for that race. They actually smashed it. The horse Alex Ashwood's Count Air, a Kiwi. A couple of the Kiwis were on and watching, went to the front and set a pretty brutal pace, and then he galloped with a lap to go, and it was a bit of a last man standing, 32 the last quarter, but it was an entertaining race, that was for sure. And then Belmac Bambi won the Nutrient Ag Solutions trot for Glenn Sharp and Jack Law, and this was a complete opposite. That was a track record. He got away with a 68 first half, so he got away with murder there for Jackie Law, late pickup drive, and he got the job done. That's for sure. Beating Algorithm and Double Dot. Jason Ainsworth had a great start to the season, more with his paces. We got him on the Trotting Show, got him started. Now all of a sudden he's with his pacing horses. So he's having a lot of fun with those. And it was a good day there at Port. It was hot, but it was a very, very good day. Mildura don't have trot races. Now, there was a couple here at Geelong. Haras de Trotters, Rio Terra by Angus Hall for Dave Murphy, bringing up 2 wins for him for the week, beating Surprise to Me, who was by Use to Me, and Who's Me Mum. Shannon O'Sullivan drove that. She's featuring in a few of these. Susie E must be, yep, I was trying to look the name of why that horse got that breeding, but there was no real reason that I could see there. And then the Jim's Mowing Trotters Handicap, Don't Touch the Juco. This little horse has done a good little job for a lot of people over the journey. 70,000, 12 wins from 44 starts. Started favourite in a Redwood back a little ways ago, would have been 2017. So, yeah, but was then trained by Chris Finozio, but now with Chris Lang doing a good job. Baxter, another of the Kiwis who is featured on this show a couple of times, and then Leanne for the Evergreen, Bob Cookenmeister. BD Yosathon was your favourite and got beat a little ways there for Andy Gaff and Kate Gaff. Kilmore, Thursday, again, love how many trots we have here. We need the trots to keep going everywhere else. Around on the 7th, Electrojet returned to Yabby Dam Farms, was formerly trained by Fred Spiteri, had the horse on lease and now returned to the Galeno camp and gets a win, beating Valley Star, another Kiwi for Andy Gaff, and Whiz Bang Dan, the Evergreen. That's where old Whiz Bang Dan is, 2014 model. So he's doing a good job, old Whiz Bang Dan. Quake proof for a good mate of mine. In Mick Barbie, horse here, he can run a really nice race, this horse. Hasn't for a little while, 3 Bros. Thought he might have won one. I actually got the wrong horse there, but that's okay. I do that from time to time. And then the last 2 races at Kilmore were also trots. Coogan and Marie Conroy getting the chocolates for her mum. Gelded son of Bacardi Lindy, and then Jack Sullivan with Major Max took out the last there. So Major Max, he's won a few races. He's got a little bit, 4 races he's won there from 27 for Major Max, going along nicely there. So please, if you've got any trotting comments or anything to say, don't worry, we will get to the Aldebaran Park Murray Mile and what a race it was very, very shortly. Maryborough, now they had a huge run of trotters. Golden Sunset, Juanita Breen, another person having a terrific run, can train paces and trotters, beating Normandy Bell and Meg Eve. Fred Spiteri and Jack Law there coming in 3rd. That was only a small field, and but Golden Sunset's got the job done nicely. The daughter of Sky Valley, Benji Hall. This is a horse that's had a lot of ability. He's had a few issues too. First start for Alex Ashwood, and got the chocolates, beating Aldebaran JT and Elegant Peak for Clive Dalton and Patrick Ryan. Great to see Pat back driving a few of the trotters. Actually, I didn't mean to push that button. Watch and Act, Faye McEwen and a group of owners, including Ian McDonald, and Ian will be at the Shepparton this weekend, beating The Girls Got Flair and Aldebaran Bell. And I'm just going to go this way through it because I'm sure there was one more trot. There we are there. My Ultimate Edie. Now, this is an interesting one by Art Major out of Laura Megan. It's had 2 starts, I think. Oh, no, 3 starts it's had. 2 as a trotter. I would imagine 3 as a trotter. Yeah, 3 as a trotter. And broke through for its first win down here, winning the Honour Street at Haras Trotters there the other day at Maryborough. So it might be a little bit of a story there because Tumby Park own all the My Ultimates and they're selling horses at the... I don't know if he ever has raced a trotter. I'd love to ask him. I might have to ask him at some stage, but that could be why, because I noticed it's owned by Alex Alchin in the ownership, so change of ownership there. Ballarat, they had a few trots as well. The 3-year-old was won by Grumpy for Alison Alford and Chris Alford. 2 starts and brought up his first win at his second start there, beating Claudie's Secret for Kelly Stewart Mitchell and Kai Valley Anthony for Joshy Duggan and Brett Lilly. Barlini for the Ainsworths, Ashley Ainsworth beating Jessica Story, and Cheer Me On Dancing for Jason Ainsworth there, come up 3rd. And there's at least 2 more, I think. Kiang Sambuca for Margaret Lee by Sam Bourbon, well done, out of Bohemian Queen. Don't know too much about this horse, no, because it's only had 2 starts for 2 wins, and they have just been recently. So, bred by Haras Trotters, must have been a little while ago. Well, it was, yes, it's a 5-year-old. So we might try and find out a bit about that horse as I go along and go from there. Michelle Arnett, let's not forget the New Year's Eve meeting, Paulie. All right, we won't. We'll go to that in a minute. That's okay. So we will say, yeah, we'll catch off on those 3. That'll be fine, Michelle. Michelle's driving the show. I know why she wants to, and we'll get to that in a second. Just a bit touchy. I'm sure Alabar and everyone involved will be rapt in winning to become a member at Ballarat. Become a member of all your clubs. Beating No Masker for the Ainsworths again, and Jeff Senior with Icicle, and Jackie Barker in the sulky there, taking out the last race there on the card. Cobram, very, very quickly. We'll skip over Bendigo just for the minute. I've got a few people that want to start commenting on it, and get your comments ready if you like. But we spoke about Don't Care. But Berries and Cherries brought up win number 2 for the week there for Donna Castles. They're having a great start to the season, beating Aero Kappa DM. And what will be Joshy Duggan. He hasn't got a winner. He missed one at Port, but he's had quite a few placings for the week. And then very quickly at Yarra Glen today, there's 2 trots actually. First try was won by Love Gun, the beautifully bred son of Love You, who's frozen semen. You can still get it at Haras Trotters. Out of Spider Girl, one for Jess Tubbs and Greg Sugars. And I do know who won this race. Oh yeah, Over and Out for Robert Evans, who I have done an interview with, and I think please go back and have a look through my footage. Robert Evans, great little story, and it's a good story, perseverance, and that with this horse. He's done a great job because he's a 7-year-old. Now, I mozzed him at Maryborough. I interviewed him at Maryborough, and he got beaten. He's come back since. That was back in October. And then he's won at Warrigal and won at Yarra Valley. He won't want to give me another interview, but just been doing a terrific job, this horse. Look at that, 9 starts, 7 wins, $30,000 in stakes. And yeah, there's a bit of a story to him, but he's doing a very, very good job. Bit of a handful, and great to see Craig Demler in the cart beating Carnera and High in the Sky for Your Justice. Tumby Park. Sir Fahrenheit. Oh, yeah, of course, Trotter. Yeah, okay. So he does have Trotters, so I wonder it may be just because it took time or it didn't want to pace. It's another one I'll chase up, Alex, and just find out why, or one, why he does trot, and 2, where he's been. I'm not sure which guy to go now because Alex is throwing, Michelle's throwing me a curveball there. We will catch off. We'll go Bendigo. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to throw you the full race of the Murray Mile, and we'll be come back straight after that. Of course, sponsored by Aldebaran Park, and better put the hat on, and it was a terrific win.
I'm Ready Jet right up on the gate. There's the light. They're away. She left okay. I'm Ready Jet. Majestuoso just cuddled off the gate. He's still trotting. Fast away, Aldebaran Zeus, trying to get across as challenging, always ready. Always ready. He's bustling through to keep the front. So it's a good duel early. Aldebaran Zeus, the puppet wants the front, and he's going to get it. Aldebaran Zeus with superior gate speed. Gets across, always ready. And settling in third, stalking them early. I'm Ready Jet off the pegs. Olivici's going to be 3 back the inside. Shortcuts up along the gap. A Nephew of Sunoco going 4 back. Sleepy's next. Just beyond midfield, Majestuoso, so the speed map's out the window. 26.8, they flew that first quarter. Third last, Sundawn's Courage. Second last, Nursed Early, Hopeful Beauty. And Kiang Lavana's made a smooth start tonight as last. They're heading toward the halfway. In the Group 1, Aldebaran Park, Maori Mile. It was a great speed battle off the gate, and Aldebaran Zeus won that battle. He hits the brakes through the second quarter. Parked out second, I'm Ready Jet. The inside third was her stablemate, Always Ready. Ready for the Haras Trotters sprint lane, but has tapped up. Olivici stalks the speed. Follows I'm Ready Jet's every move in this last half. Nephew of Sunoco trying to get off the pegs under Sleepy. Majestuoso makes its move 3 deep down the back, but it's 15 off the front and broke. Majestuoso, the favourite, jumped it off. Getting past it, Sundawn's Courage, Kiang Lavana, and just in front of them was Hopeful Beauty. 30.1 for that second quarter. 28.4 down the back. Aldebaran Zeus. Alford goes for broke. He got about 8 metres in front. Battling on Ready Jet. Olivici hanging tough third. And back behind them, Sleepy, but at the top of the lane, he's all out, Aldebaran Zeus. But he's got a good lead. He's 6 metres in front. In second, I'm Ready Jet. Sleepy's along the inside. Flying late, Hopeful Beauty. Aldebaran Zeus is clinging on in the Aldebaran Park Maori Mile, and he'll lead all the way. Aldebaran Zeus has beaten either Sleepy or out wide. Hopeful Beauty, the mare's fighting out second. Just in behind them, I'm Ready Jet fourth. Sundawn's Courage, Olivici, Kiang Lavana, Nephew of Sunoco. Majestuoso not on his best behaviour tonight, and galloping late was Always Ready. 29.5 was the final quarter. We'll stand by for the official mile rating to go up. It is 154.8 for Aldebaran Park.
There we have the 2023 Aldebaran Park Maori Mile, and it was a terrific race, and yeah, a lot of stories out of that as well. I think they were all really, really good runs. They other than probably Always Ready and unfortunately Majestuoso, who actually galloped twice. Every other horse in that race has gone terrific. Like Nephew of Sunoco got shuffled back with the tiring Always Ready, and was only beaten 30 metres, and they've trotted 54.8. So, yeah, some of those runs were terrific, and a lot of very, very good runs. Olivici, I thought was good. I'm Ready Jet was outstanding. I thought she was as good as the 2 fillies that beat her home. But isn't that great? We got in the top 4 there in a really fast time, chasing home a lovely 5-year-old horse. 3 high-class fillies, and I think that was terrific. Sleepy, Joshy Duggan's just done an awesome job. As I said, he keeps running placings this week. And Hopeful Beauty, she actually caused the false start. She put the head down and gave Dash a bit of a boot. And it's great to be at races and be standing in the right spots at the right time. But Anton basically asked him to go and see if... just said let his crupper out, and yeah, it was amazing the difference it made to her. She went back to last, Hopeful Beauty, and yeah, she's a French trotter. We've got the guys from Wales and that on there as well, but yeah, real international flavour. Aldebaran Zeus, I spoke to Duncan afterwards, and he'll definitely race for this season. After that, they're unsure whether they continue to race him and serve, or they don't, or they're not sure. They're just trying to work out probably the best way to treat the horse and to do it with the horse, because he's Swedish bred. He's not Sweden on his mother's side, American on the father's side, but he's just a class horse. But there's some really, really classy trotters here in Victoria at the minute. Yes, Nellie Melba, exactly. Beautifully judged drive by Chris. He knew the sectionals were amazing. 26.8 for the trotters off the gate. Back to a 30.1, and then, yes, they still got home in 57.9, if you don't mind, you know, and that was brutal. And, yeah, terrific. Like I said, Olivici was good. Sundawn's Courage was very good. So was Kiang Lavana. And, yeah, I can make a case for Nephew of Sunoco. He's probably not noted as a mile horse either, but he was absolutely terrific. And it was just it was a great race, and it was terrific to see, and I love it. It's one of the races I wait for the year. It's run on the same night as the Bendigo Pacing Cup, and I honestly think they should move the Pacing Cup and just leave this race stand on its own on a beautiful hot summer's night there at Bendigo, make it an all Trotters night, and I think they could get more and more people. But it was brilliantly done, brilliantly won, driven, and just a really, really exciting race to be there and be a part of. The other race on the night actually was taken out by another Yebby Dam farm bred horse, really real trotting family. This one by Love You out of Something About Mari. Central Otago beating home Shawnee, and Sean Gallagher was there. And I have got a great picture. Unfortunately, the picture's on the other computer, so I can't actually get it up onto this. But yeah, Duncan McPherson and Pat Driscoll and Sean Gallagher were there after the race, having a beautiful embrace, and it was all legit too. I think the three, well, definitely the two guys love trotting. They love the way that it's going, and it's great to see. So, yep, some really good trotting races, and I think that's the one thing we need. A few of the other states. I know Brad's still there with the show, and it'd be just terrific. We could get 4 or 5 feature races through that winter carnival up there on the one night, and they are doing that. They've got their Oaks, their Derbies. They've got some 2-year-old racing coming on, so they're definitely trying, and then also New South Wales and the state of the job will be better. The nutrient catalogue, anyone wanting with the Trotters, don't forget the nutrient catalogue is here now. Better go that way, so it's in the middle, and it is thick. There is 14 Trotters. Brad will tell me if I'm wrong, but there's 14 Trotters in the Southern Stars in Brisbane. Slightly less, I think 12 or 13 in New South Wales, and then I believe over 80 in Victoria. So huge contingency of Trotters. Some beautifully bred horses, and I can encourage people to pick it up and have a look at the Southern Stars, because I was there the other day. There's Sebastian K's, Up and Quicks, What the Hill. I'm going to be in trouble because I forgot someone else that's got one up there. There's another one, different breeding of one up there as well. There might actually be a Majestic Sun. But anyway, so yeah, 16 Trotters in the Sunshine Stars, and I think 14 in New South Wales. And yeah, so huge contingency of Trotters. And some beautifully bred ones. I spoke to Kate Hargreaves there before. That Don't Care was purchased out of the sale. He's a great little story, but he was purchased out of the sale either for $7,000 or $11,000, with all money going to the Trotters Harness Racing Club to do their new shed that they need so desperately up there. But he wasn't a dear buy. So yeah, so make sure you pick up your catalogues and go, and don't just think, oh, Victoria's the only state that's going to have them in it. I'll be getting around New South Wales next week. So yeah, there's a full sister to Elite Stride in the Melbourne sale, just a single one out, and that's exactly right, Clinton. So and there'll be some beautifully bred ones. Half those Trotters there the other day, there'll be relations to those. I noticed Haras Trotters have got 30. 10 colts and 20 fillies, and don't forget, so the fillies, you get that opportunity to have beautifully bred horses and then be able to breed on afterwards as well. So and go from there. Anthony Perkins, 2 Centurion ATMs. Thank you, Anthony. In Queensland as well. So I got the Up and Quicks, Anthony. I didn't go too bad, but I couldn't remember the other one. So yeah, and there's definitely a What the Hill. And I think a Majestic Sun. One of the gentlemen might be able to. I could actually look it up very quickly, actually. So. But yeah, make sure you get your catalogue. If you're in Queensland, there'll be a boutique catalogue, if you like, coming out very, very shortly. There's a Southwind Frank, 2 Speeding Spurs. Oh yeah, 2 Volsteads. I'll be in trouble from the Vags for getting those. 2 Majestic Suns going through very, very quickly. Centurion ATM, Up and Quick, I've already said. And I think that is all with the What the Hill as well. So good range of Trotters to be able to pick. A Trixon as well. There is also a Trixon. That's in Queensland alone. So there are plenty there going along. And one Sebastian K. Good to see I got the Queenslanders tuned in. Might have to take the. I could end up back there in a couple of weeks, actually, so we might end up taking it up. We might talk Trotters up there with the guys in there. Don't forget, if you're watching also online on YouTube, you can type your comments in going along there. So Anthony is a little bit like Clinton McSwain. He understands how this works. You put it on there, it goes up. It is free advertising. 5 Up and Quick fillies, including a half to Aldebaran Ursula. Of course, a horse that Duncan McPherson raced, Australia's fastest ever 2-year-old trotting filly. So, or 2-year-old, you might actually, I don't think he needs a filly on the end of it, and he didn't put it there, I did. So, yeah, go from there. Mark Gary, Will Puppet Drive, Queen Alida, $3.80, or Aldebaran Zeus, $4.40. Don't understand the prices, Mark. And the last time he had to choose, he drove the mare, Queen Alida. So, in the Great Southern Star. I would say they would hope that they don't get them combined, but then again, Duncan might want to shore up a driver for Aldebaran Zeus. I think he'll stick with Queen Alida, simply because he did in a couple of the times they clashed this year, albeit barrier draws were well and truly in her favour. I think he'll stick with her, but don't know. So it's a great, interesting comment. Actually, it'll be a good one. I might try and no, I won't, because I don't like those sorts of things. I don't like trying to put that sort of pressure on the guys. But yeah, look at it this way, Mark. It's a great problem to have, isn't it? If he's sitting back, and let's be honest, Sleepy. I don't know if they'll even target the Great Southern Star with her, but a horse that they train themselves as well. You know, she's not that far off them. She's proven it time and time again. She made the Inter-Dominion final. She's just a beautiful filly that's getting better and better, and it's great to see her back. And one thing she is, she's a monster of a mare, Sleepy. So, you know, there's another one there that we could definitely throw into the mix as well for a Chris Alford drive, although I'm sure he'll be agonising over those two. Isn't it mouth-watering, those trotters, though? So in another month's time, we will get to watch Queen Alida, Aldebaran Zeus, Hopeful Beauty, I'm Ready Jet. The Great Southern Star is just going to be an absolute cracking race with so much intrigue as to who will back up and who won't. The one thing, anyone that watched that race at Bendigo, there was a false start. Warm night, false start. All those trotters came back, stopped, and they still went out and done that. And as I said, other than the other Anton Galino horse whose name is just always ready before I even got to it. But yeah, always ready. Drop him out. The rest of them all, as I said, performed beautifully. So horse like Olivici for Chris Lang in the Great Southern Star. Chris has always been able to get those horses going through. So nearly your top 5 there. You throw in a couple of the others. It'll be sensational. Majestic Mountain, I think, is coming out from New Zealand. So it's going to be a very, very intriguing and exciting race to be a part of and be able to be there and to be able to watch it. So, and I look forward to it. And hopefully plenty of other races along the way. I'm actually clicking all that as we go. I got into trouble, and we are going to bring these up because Michelle is on. That doesn't wake up. It has now. And we are going to highlight and we are going to say congratulations to everyone involved with Rocking with Attitude, taking out the first race. We start talking about these feature races. These trotters we're going to mention here in a minute are so super exciting to know that they're in it, and they're going to be some good races coming up. You know, we've got the Queenslanders on. They've got to have a Derby and an Oaks this year as well. Brad, if you're still there, when are your Trotting Derby and Trotting Oaks going to be on? Please, I imagine they're through your Winter Carnival. But, yeah, just your dates, because I think everyone's targeting the New South Wales Derby. They may not know that there's a Queensland one on, and I wonder if it's just a week or two after that. So if you are still there, Brad or Anthony, it'll be pretty exciting to know roughly those dates as to when they're going to be, because the New South Wales Trotting Derby is in March. I'm pretty sure Wayne Potter said, and we'll mention Wayne in a sec. Rocking with Attitude, though, David Miles and the whole team there. It was an emotional win, went absolutely sensational. And David said there before, he trotted a 29.6 and he thought he was going about a 32, so he thought he better grab hold of her. He said, what a lovely filly she is. Beating Valerie Lane and Aldebaran Millie, who was a terrific run at big odds. Filly to watch coming through. Chris Finozio will take his time with her. Tradie Lady, race rough. It actually galloped, I would have said. They've called that racing rough. Okay, galloped under pressure. Ozara for Alex Ashwood and Taylor French was a nice run as well, by Used to Me as well. That horse is there. But yeah, most of those horses went terrific, except for the bottom couple who were on their naughty best behaviours, if you like. Back up to Vicky Bloom, I think it just tired that horse there. But Mick Watt did a good job. He had 2 horses in the final. So Dichotomy might have shown the signs of a a long year. It did gallop, but been a long year for all those horses, and I'm sure that's what a few people will have to factor in going forward for time to come. So the Locomotive was the other one, won the Aldebaran Park. Dancing in the Dark M for the 2-year-old Trotters. What a super job this horse has done. He was purchased. He didn't actually sell at the sale. He was purchased outside the sale for around the $90,000 mark. It wasn't exactly that. 12 starts, 9 wins in his debut year. $198,000. He's $1,700 shy of hitting $200,000. This is why you want to go to these sales. This sale here, because you could have purchased the Son of La Cucaracha out of there. Obviously, yep, he wasn't cheap. Horses like this aren't cheap. He is the real deal, the Locomotive, and he's done a great job. He has competed everywhere. Group 1s, he has had 4 Group 1 races, the Homegrown, the Nutrien, just trying to work out Breeders' Crown, and then the Vic Bred. Won 4 Group 1 racings for the whole time. Muscle Mountain Paul, you won't forget his name once you see him. No, I've seen him, Gary. I actually just have a mental blank because I have so much going on. I was fortunate enough to be over there to see the trot race of the year, the Dominion Handicap this year, where he ran second, but it was a phenomenal race. Just a brilliant race. Sunday's Sun won for Johnny Dunn, who had 1,500 winners the other day. Muscle Mountain is a really, really class horse. He won the trot on the show day, and did he win the one on show day? No, the Dominion Handicap was on show day. He won the race on Grand Prix day when I was over there, and he's just a beautiful horse, Muscle Mountain, and he's a mountain of a horse, and hopefully he's coming across because it'll be a lot of fun. The Locomotive beat What's Up Party Time and Stevie G. I believe Stevie G may have been having an operation to fix a few of his problem times, but What's Up Party Time, another horse that's done a great job and contested in most of those. Stevie G went to the New Tune Classic as well, so he's done a good job. Stevie G, let's have a look at his buy used to me, 30,000. He's only won the 1 race from 11 starts. Manners, but he will be going from there. Moonwalker, sorry. Yeah, it was a good run, actually. Damien Burns horse did a lot of work as well. I reckon Centurion ATM, out of a Majestic Sun mare. So I wasn't sure if Anthony might have been one of his as well. Hide and Seek is going up to Queensland. I know it's going to join Shannon Price, so you'll see that horse racing in Queensland. He had a torrid run the other day in that race there as well, but he is heading to Queensland. He may actually already be there, I think, in Queensland as well. Revelstoke for Aldebaran Park, Aldebaran Eagle, Vic Bred Super Series, and because Aldebaran Eagle is the sire of Rocking with Attitude. Mark Gary, I'll get to you in 1 sec. I'll just finish this while I'm off. Revelstoke beating Lindy's Lane and Used to Be a Maid for Rodney Petroff by Used to Me. Lindy's Love is by Love You, Quaker Jet, the sire of Revelstoke. So the top 3 all bred by Haras to Trotters. Look after my sponsors and go from there. Rightio, so there you go. Brad Seals just said then that the Trotting Oaks is the 1st of July, and the 8th of July is the Trotters Derby. So right in the heart of winter. I'm sure there's a lot of trotting enthusiasts are just penciling that one down right now to make sure of it. So yeah, see, they'll come back from New South Wales and then they'll be able to head up to Queensland and enjoy a bit of sunshine, a little bit more fun, bit of activities. There's a few other things planned up there, so there'll be plenty for them to do. $30,000 purse, so a lot of people will be looking at that. But Revelstoke's just done an enormous job this year. She's a high-quality filly. Coolmiere, unfortunately, galloped twice. There was a false start, and then galloped the second time as well, so put a pay to her chances in that race. But, yeah, you can't take anything away from Revelstoke. High filly, classy filly, very, very fast. And yes, Nellie Melba. It was great to see Darryl Douglas winning a Group 1 race again. You're spot on. He's done a terrific job. Now, I've got to find another mouse because I need to bring this one back down so you guys can see it. This is from Mick Guerin, outstanding New Zealand trotter Muscle Mountain, who would have been favourite for the Great Southern Star at Melton, is now not going to Victoria. Got a virus, which will slow his recovery down, so the trip is off, which is extremely unfortunate. So Thank you very much, Mark Gurry. I appreciate that and did not know that. So that is unfortunate for Australian racing. The problem is they have these Dominion handicaps and great races towards the end of next year as well for a horse like him. Sunday Sun's getting a year older, so they've probably got a few targets in mind with that horse as well. So, yeah, good racing there. They have got Enheim, but he won't come out because he has leg issues as well. So the hopes may not be bringing one out at the minute. You never know, though, going from there. Johnny Dunn, he could be. He's got a couple of high-class, very classy 4-year-old trotters now, just turned 4-year-old, so they may come out for the Great Southern Star. Don't know. The Derby winner, which was Nazareth, and Highgrove could both be coming out. A couple more trot races to get through here. Loxley Lover by Love You, our elusive charm. Love You, of course, is bred by stands at Haras the Trotters, but then you have Elusive Charm for David Scott, who's the chair at Cranbourne. One sec, because I reckon he's got one in the sale out of this mare as well, and also all his mares reside at Aldebaran Park. So I encourage people, if you want to get out and go through the catalogues, make sure you get out to Haras the Trotters, get to Haras the Trotters, but also get to Aldebaran Park and go from there. Rightio. So I've got to go a different way here because if it is, someone else is doing it as agents. No. So there's not one this year out of Elusive Charm going through the sales, but she has done a terrific job with all of those horses as well. So the Aldebaran Park draft, they've got Secret Sundays, Sunny's Folly, Xenia, Aldebaran Eliza, Aldebaran AM, Aldebaran DB, Epona Phoenix, ODM Phoenix, Regal Pepperell, Aldebaran Shakira, Sundon's Babe, Wannabe Amari, Zipping Around, Aldebaran Crumpet, Hush Your Majesty, and Naked Majesty. Those last two, I think, are related to that family, and they have got plenty there. I think roughly there, they've got about 15. But, yeah, this mare does reside at Aldebaran Park with Duncan McPherson. Of course, Don't Care, they're running second, and Aldebaran Zeus running third. So what a form race that is. But Loxley Lover was just outstanding. He was terrific in that race there. And I think that's it for the Trotters. No, 3-year-old trotting. Cravosh Dior. What a year this horse has had. Have a look at this for a record. And he's only a 4-year-old, this horse. So there's a lot of racing to come for this horse. 21 starts, 12 wins. $201,000 in stakes. Last season, 10 wins and a second from only 13 starts. So it'll be super, super exciting to see what this horse can do next year. He won the Breeders' Crown. No, he ran second in the Breeders' Crown. Sorry, Vic Bred Final. And yeah, Plymouth Chubbs and a few of these other horses. There's some really, really high-class races coming up, so it's going to be extremely exciting. RC Phoenix for the Shores, they would be wrapped with him. He was terrific. He savaged the line and went great. Courage Stride, Plymouth Chubb were good as well in that. So that was actually the end of the Vic Bred Super Series night. I could have had the replays up, but I didn't, and can get a bit tricky as well. So getting all those ones up from time to time. But I do appreciate everyone's input, especially keeping me up to date with some of those other trotters as well. It's just a breed that I love, and I want to continue to promote it. 2 feature races at Shepparton this Saturday night. They actually go by a different name because it used to always be the George Gaff, but the George Gaff is no longer on this night. They've got the Derby Royale Trotters Free for All, $24,000 race, and 67 to 79 rated trot as well. So a lot of these races. Then the week after, of course, the feature race will be at Ballarat, will be the EB Cochrane Trotters Cup, only $30,000 in stakes. Like to get our stake money up a bit higher here in Victoria, but that'll have a lot of the high-class trotters, which will then be targeting the Great Southern Star and that onwards in the summer carnivals. So just quickly, I don't think it's that week. No, there's not a trot on the first week, which is sad. I could get into trouble here. Might have to just make sure. No, the Great Southern Star is on the 3rd of February. So, yeah, so they'll go to Ballarat, and then the 3rd of February at Melton for the Great Southern Star Heats and Finals. And it's on an all-trotting night, which will be a huge night of trotting to be able to sit back and enjoy. $300,000 Great Southern Star. So going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone that's joined in. Thank you to everyone that's given a little bit of input into the show. As I said, it's brought to you by Haras, the Trotters. You can go to their website. Louise Toolman actually confirmed that those stands are all still available for collection at the time, and it's not too late. There's plenty of time to go. 2-year-old pacing race is actually on at Albion Park. The first one, the Queenslanders, is getting a good mention, but the first one's on Tuesday for the Pacers. Not sure when the first 2-year-old trot race is. Generally not till about March, so a bit more homework for me to do. But thank you to everyone who's joined in and had a little bit of fun, and I really appreciate it. This is Talking Trotters, proudly brought to you by Haras the Trotters. And I will be back next week with another show, whether I do it here or out somewhere. We'll go from there. Thank you very much, Mark Gurry, and thank you very much, Mark, for your input. Brad Steele, everyone that's got involved as well. Nellie Melba always chimes in. I really appreciate it. The more comments we get, the more it goes on. Michelle Arnett, you don't have to say thank you. You just have to smile and say well done. I'm tipping she's still smiling. She always smiles, so it's always very, very good as well. We'll catch up with Dave Miles maybe at some stage and find out where that little filly's at. I'm sure she's in the paddock, but what her main aims are going forward this season as well. Thank you. Look forward to it. I'm going to be out and about with Nutrien for the next few days, but On Loose Lines will be back Wednesday night. We talk a little bit more random. Who knows where it will go, but yep, thank you very much for joining me tonight.